Hello everybody, I got a field review for you today. I'm going to be talking about Top Gun Paintball in Jackson, New Jersey. So Top Gun is, I believe, the oldest paintball field in the state of New Jersey, and it was actually those guys that got paintball legalized in New Jersey, which took all the way until 1988. So that's a cool bit of history for you about Top Gun Paintball. The place itself is a bit pricey. It's $40 for a day paintball all day. I think they have rates for half days. It's field paint only, and it's $80 a case. So it's a little expensive as far as paintball goes. On the flip side, the fields are all really nice. I don't really want to go through all of the fields because there are a lot of them, but just some of the high notes. There's the circular field that has the fort on the hill in the middle, kind of the King of the Hill field. That was really cool. There's the field that's kind of has the choke point where the pond sticks out into it. There's the field opposite that runs right along the pond, so you get people fighting right along the shoreline there. There is the Alamo, of course, where they hold the Alamo big game. There are a number of very cool, I think, speedball fields. There's the very large Lego speedball field. Lego, you know, the plastic pals with the bumps, that kind of thing. And then there is also the smaller Hyperpipe speedball field, and there's a whole bunch of other woods fields and everything. There's a lot of fields, more than it's worth talking about all here. But if you look at my Darwin FPS videos 4, 5, and 8, that's Tunaball from last year, the Alamo from last year, and then a private group from last fall. Check those videos out, and that'll give you a good idea of what the fields look like. The safety is really good. The netting is very high quality. The refs have always been on top of things when I was there. Lots of dead zones scattered throughout the field, so you don't have to hike back and forth to the main staging area each time between games. There are local dead boxes for most fields, which is really good. What kind of regional dead boxes for the fields that are way out there. They have a small one that kind of services 3 or 4 different fields around it, so that's good. Also, in the hotter months, in these dead boxes, they have water, which is great because we all know that heat exhaustion, dehydration, that kind of thing can be a big problem in the summer when you're playing paintball. So the fact that this field actually takes that step to kind of help their customers not have those problems is really nice. And most fields don't do that. So the staff, the management is really cool. Everyone that I've interacted with is very nice. The refs are usually really good. They have a bunch of different people that will ref. They have the normal teenagers / younger people that do the reffing, but they also have a couple of older refs that I don't know if they're involved with the management or whatever, but a couple times I've gone and I've had a couple older gentlemen ref, and they're really cool too. Very strict with safety, but absolutely, you know, want everybody to have a good time. So I really like the staff. Something else to comment on is they run a number of big games every year that are really good. I've never gone to this, but I hear good things every January about penguins and polar bears. They also host Tunaball every year, and they also do the Alamo game, which has been for at least the last couple years in August. Finally, one kind of reservation I have with this place that I want to talk about is the way they divide the teams on walk-on days. Every time I've been there for walk-on play, which is 3 or 4 times over the years, the teams have been, at least for part of the day, quite imbalanced, and there is a clear favoritism towards the regulars, stacking the teams in their favor at the expense of the newer players or the players that are not regulars at that field. And I don't like this. This is a problem for me because that's not a good business model for an individual field and for paintball as a whole, because the ultimate result is that, yes, your core group of players have a really good time, but everybody else kind of gets stomped and leaves with a bad taste in their mouth, and that's not good for anybody. And as I said, this has occurred 3 or 4 times over the course of 3 or 4, maybe longer, 5 years or so, when I've played there. So I'm not sure if it's kind of just the refs that have happened to be there on that day were doing it, or if it's more of an institutional thing. I'm not really sure, but that's kind of the main reason I don't play walk-on there more often. So that reservation aside, I really like this place. It's expensive, but for the big games that they host, they're some of the most fun games I've done in the last couple of years. But for walk-on ball, I think I have to recommend another field simply because of this issue with the teams. So excellent field, but I have my reservations for walk-on ball. Those are my thoughts though. Your experience may differ. Thanks for listening.